So let's get started here. Thanks for joining BlueSync today on April 23rd. We're going to be covering some RingCentral stuff. I know some of you don't use it that much, or now that we've rolled it out, you've used it a little bit, you're a little bit more comfortable with it. So I just wanted to give some tips on how to basically operate RingCentral a little bit better. So you won't have to reach out to me and you're able to do a bunch of these changes that would basically help your office. Some different rules and things we can put into play. So let's get started here. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Risa. So RingCentral, this is the home screen. You're on your home screen. I'm under the admin portal. So when you're in the RingCentral system on the main login screen, you'll have this little option up here next to your initials or next to the office initials. Admin portal, call queue management, or my extension. So the way RingCentral is set up, I'm going to take Big Rapids, for instance. The Big Rapids office has a main phone number. That phone number is attached to a call queue. So the office is here, the call queue is up here. That phone number belongs to the queue. Nothing else belongs to that queue except for the phone number. So when somebody calls that phone number, it hits the queue and then distributes it wherever it needs to. So basically, trying to edit the call queue. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. So we're trying to edit the call queue, and if we're trying to manage the calls that are coming into our office, we need to manage the queue. So to do so, there's a few different ways you can get to it, but there's call queue management right here as an option. We could click on call queue management, and that'll let us look at any of the call queues that we belong to and manage any of those call queues. So if there's messages going to the call queue, let's see, for instance, this one's Harbor Springs. If there was any text messages sent to Harbor Springs, I'd be able to see them in the call queue management section under messages. You can go to settings. So if I needed to edit the Harbor Springs call queue, let's say Carrie Frisbee wasn't going to be there today and I needed to log in to help transfer the Harbor Springs phones to the Traverse City office where I'm sitting. So we're in call queue management. I have access to Harbor Springs. So if you need access to any of the neighboring offices that you might be helping run, manage, help out when people are on vacations, send me a message and we can get you added to the call queue for that site to allow you to better manage it. So once we're in the Harbor Springs site for call queue management, I can go to call handling and members. From here, it looks like a lot. Don't mess with the settings if you're not familiar with them, but this basically lets you know who's going to be getting the calls anytime anybody calls that phone number for the office. It used to be set up to the front desk phone was the main phone that had to distribute calls elsewhere. Oh, okay, perfect. So, and I'll be getting with you to go over this a little bit more, Haley. But so call queue management, it goes to the floor phone, the portable phone, and the main front desk phone. If we needed to have this ring in Traverse City because Harbor Springs isn't there, all you got to do is go add member, type out the name of the person or office you're looking for. Unfortunately, the search is showing everything for the sites, everything in Traverse City. But you want to look for the main front desk phone. Generally, we keep those, Traverse City. Or if it's Big Rapids, it's gonna say Big Rapids. It's not gonna say someone's name, because if we had these by ASC names, it would be quite difficult for some people in different areas to contact that phone. So let's go Coldwell Banker, Traverse City, I believe. It's right here. It's the one in bold, Coldwell Banker, Traverse City. It's the main line. So we hit done and save. There. Anytime somebody, if you called Harbor Springs right now, it would also ring in the Traverse City office. So pretty helpful. We are going to delete that though. Let's say we didn't want it to be permanent. Let's say we just needed Traverse City or the Harbor Springs phones to be transferred to Traverse City for maybe a day. We don't have to do it like this because this way it's permanent. So we'll delete me or delete Traverse City. And do you see this little thing that says custom rules? This is similar to how we used to have it in the old RingCentral system for those who are familiar with it. Custom rules allows us to set up temporary ones. So we're going to go add rule. Here's where we get to do all the programming of it. So we want date and time. So if we're just sending Harbor Springs calls to Traverse City for just today, we could pick Thursday, but that would do every Thursday. We're going to go specific date range and then pick your date. So we're going to go from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. We go next. This also looks a little confusing if you're not sure what you're looking for, but it's really simple. Basically, you have to ask the person you're sending the call to. So if I'm sending the calls from Harbor Springs to Traverse City, I'm going to ask Sarah up here at the front desk and say, Sarah, do you want the calls from Harbor Springs to ring every phone in Traverse City? So the portable, an agent phone that's sitting there, the front desk phone, do you want it to ring all of them or just the front desk? Because you got to think, if we're transferring the Harbor Springs phones, that could be calls that are coming in that, agents here could be picking up. So we have to be careful with how we send those calls. If Harbor Springs, or depending on which office I should say you're sending it to, Traverse has a lot of agents here. So, but we handle basically the admin answers all calls. So it's kind of 50-50 whether or not we need to transfer the calls to the call queue or just Sarah's phone up front. There's a difference, and I'll show you. If we forward it to an extension, it's a single phone. So in that, we can find Coldwell Banker Traverse City, and it's only going to ring the extension 8100. So it's only the front desk phone. If we want to send it to the entire call queue, so it hits all phones in the office. So if she's walking around, she can answer it on the portable. Then we can do forward to a site. We select the site. And it sends it to the entire site. So it rings all the phones. It'll come in just like it normally would if somebody was calling from an outside line. And then we name it. So send to TC for the day. Hit save. And effective immediately, any calls that come into Harbor Springs are going to be ringing over to Traverse City. Pretty simple. You may run into some issues. Refer back to this video for some steps or call me with questions. Let's see. So we got call handling, custom rules. Next thing I want to go over is how to add users to your phone's extension list. So that can be done under My Extension because you're basically editing your extension that's... Sorry, my window moved on me.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So when you forward it to Traverse City, would it still ring at the original office? It rings to both, or will it only now ring at Traverse City?
So it all depends on, let's see, call handling. It's going to route all the calls to Traverse City.
Okay, so well, can you set it so it would still ring at your office and another place?
Let's check that out. You can select multiples. It will not allow us to do multiples there, but that's
Okay.
where we can do it a few different ways too. So if you want your phone to ring and it also ring at another office, if it's only for the day, that's where you could go into, into this, add them as a member of your site, and then you can remove them the following day. Generally, when we forward calls, it's because no one's there to answer it. If it's going to be a permanent solution where we need it to ring in multiple offices at a more regular basis, then you'd add them here. Or it's you're going to be using it if you're not going to be there and you need to send the calls somewhere else. So if you're wanting to have them both at the same time all the time, then we'd have to program that in kind of manually to be permanent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to My Extension now so we can edit the speed dial on the phones. And bear with me here. I don't click this way too often. Okay, so we go to My Extension, Settings. We go to Devices. And then this has, my desk phone. The presence icon is the one that edits that little speed dial on your phones. Whether you have that sidecar or just that little LCD screen, we're clicking on presence. And from here, it shows you any of the extensions that are going to show up on there. So if I wanted to add Cascade to the list, Cascade, and then it's showing me the site. It's showing me everybody from Cascade. I'm going to look for probably Coldwell Banker Cascade. Coldwell Banker Cascade. 2800. Assign. And then we scroll down to save. And it says my phone's going to reboot, obviously. So my phone's rebooting right now. And we'll log in here and preview it. So on my phone, it'll say Paul Help Desk, obviously, and then we have Coldwell Banker Cascade. So that's how easy it is. And if you want to remove Cascade from your speed dial, just click Remove, Save. It'll reboot the phone again, and now that agent or that user is removed from your speed dial. So, hey, Patty.
How can you change the order of the extensions you have that shows on your phone?
You're not going to like it. So there's you basically have to go to delete and then re-add them, I think, depending on which order you'd like.
So basically, to set the agents up that I transfer the most, I would just have to go in and delete.
You'd have to go in there and delete them from here, go back up to find an empty slot, assign the extension to that agent then.
Okay.
Unfortunately, one of the things when we transferred systems from old RingCentral to new RingCentral, they weren't able, there's no backup option for this. Like there's no way to back up your contacts. So we could say, all right, everyone's getting these same 4 up top, the same 4 or 5. And then
so
we
basically doing what you're showing us right now and
you have
just
to do it manually. Yep.
Just delete and re-add until
Delete
you
and re-add.
get the people you want.
Yeah, I wish there was a better way. There's not. Hey, Sherry.
Patty, though, or anybody else, make sure you delete first, because if you try to add them to a new spot,
Very good
they're
point.
not going to be visible in the options. So
Yes.
you have to delete them first, then go and add, and then they'll be visual again.
Yes. Thank you. All right. So we've covered My Extension, call queue management. Hey Don, I believe it's going to be in the Schmidt resources. It's where BlueSync videos are typically recorded. So it's either Schmidt resources or the Schmidt video classroom on YouTube. Another tip for some of you who kind of like using the website, may not want to use the app, but if you click these 9 dots right here and you click on web app, it's going to open up this. And this looks just like that downloaded one that some people use because we've downloaded it to their computers. You have the option to use this to send text messages to people, phone calls. You can call people right from your computer from here. If you happen to get any faxes sent to your office's line, it should show up on the fax tab. So yeah, you can operate, you can view the company contacts from here. You can do a lot of things right from the app. Hi, Risa.
Hi there. I haven't been able to get the company phone numbers, contacts in my app. Every time I look for one of my agents, they're not there. What am I doing wrong?
Are you using the app on the computer or on the phone?
On the computer.
Okay, so does it look like this then?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it looks
And then
like.
do you see the contacts on your left-hand side? You might have to click the
Yes.
more button, but yeah, it should say contacts. And what happens when you click
Okay.
on contacts?
I'm gonna look at that right now.
All right.
I see a bunch of contacts, but if I, it looks like it's the entire company.
Yep,
But
right
if
here, there's
I-
a little search box up top. So if I'm
Ye-
looking for Agent
Oh,
Dan
okay.
Stiebel, Dan S for Stiebel, right here. Here's Dan Stiebel.
Okay, so I have, all right, it goes to their extension.
Yep. Depending on
Oh.
who you're sending it to, agents don't have phone numbers with us, so we have to transfer it to their name and or extension. And those extensions are created when the agents are onboarded or offboarded. And I believe Haley takes care of all that for us. So
Okay.
when the agents come on, she's going to give them an extension. And Haley,
Right.
I believe you send out the extension with the list now to the ASCs, don't you?
Mm.
The onboarding. I believe
Yeah.
that's done.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you can hear me, but yes.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So then it's up to you guys if you want, as ASCs, when you're, if you'd like to have that agent added to your phone list, that's when you would go into that presence. So you'd log into my extension or my phone, and then log into the device and then presence, and then you can add that agent to your speed dial if you'd like. Everyone works a little different. So.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yeah. How to transfer a call that comes into the iPad app. That's a great question, Amy. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the iPad app with me right now.
I know. I think it might give you the option when it comes through, but I just want to be prepared before
Yeah, so when it
happens.
comes through, it's going to look similar to the phone, I believe, where it has those, 3 or those 6 dots right across the screen, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there should be an option for transfer on
And
there.
then you just search your contacts real
It'll
quick.
search the company contacts list or your contacts as well. So,
Okay.
Yep. Right. Patty. Yeah.
I
Hey,
think
Kim.
you just hit pound and the extension you're transferring it to.
That works as well too. There's multiple ways to do this, and I know in the past I've tested it out, and I really can't remember. I think pound, and somebody can speak up. Pound, I believe. I don't know when you transfer the call whether or not you want your phone number. So if somebody called Kim in Holland and Kim transfers that call to an agent, whose number should that agent be seeing? Should the agent be seeing
caller.
Kim's phone number or the person who called in?
The caller.
The caller.
If it's the person who called in, I'll probably have to post a follow-up because I think pound works in some circumstances, but there's what's called a soft transfer versus a cold transfer or hot versus cold transfer. So I will look into that and get that sent out with the information.
Paul,
on.
Paul, I believe it's pound, and then the extension.
Okay, pound, and then the extension.
Yeah,
So
transfer,
if you have-
the button transfer, pound, extension.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's how it works on
Thank
the
you, Sharon.
phone.
Okay, so is everyone kind of aware of that then? If agents are complaining that the office number is showing up, try transferring it a different way. That way they can see and call back that customer. Should they, get disconnected from the call, then they don't have to reach back out to the office and say, "Hey, who just called me?" I've had that before.
It definitely works here. I know that.
Okay. Yeah, so try that pound and then type in the number, the extension. And I do know that on some phones, some of the portable phones, you can just hit transfer now. So some newer devices operate a little differently. So if it doesn't work, reach out, ask questions. It may be a little different for you. Hey, Risa.
Hey, one more thing. I just did a test for one of my agents and it looks like it sent it to, even though I asked for a text, it sent it to her email, not her phone.
It sent the phone. It sent the phone call to her phone.
That's what it appears to be. It is not. It looks like it's just a.
Which user is it?
Louisa Shack, and it's LUI. I just figured I'd grab you before you. Because if you look at
Should be going to that number.
my text, it's not in the text.
So you're trying to forward a text?
I want to type a text to her.
Okay, so you can't do that.
Oh,
The agent doesn't have a phone number, so you can't text somebody who doesn't have a phone number. It's just an extension that forwards calls to their personal device.
yeah, their phone number. I mean, that's what extension 315 is to her phone.
It's to ring to her phone, though. As of last year, the government has has implemented new laws. 10 DLC. It's an SMS text messaging guideline that basically restricts people from being able to send text messages to anybody in the United States of America, unless you're pre-registered, that extension's allowed to, is registered with the carriers, that's pre-set up. There's campaigns. It's like $1 to register numbers. There's a huge process. So you can't text anybody unless they have an actual phone number, and that phone number is allowed to accept incoming texts. So when you're sending a text message to an extension, it kind of ends at that extension. The agents aren't going to be logging in to view any of the messages per se.
Right.
Because there's a message tab over here as well. That's for intercompany messages. RingCentral to RingCentral only. Texting goes to the major carriers, AT&T, Verizon. Those you have to be registered for. Messages you don't. But the agents that utilize the extensions to accept those calls on their phone, they're not logging into RingCentral because there's no need.
Right.
So you're not transferring text messages. You can take that text and then email them if you need to.
Okay.
You can't text agents extensions. You can text agents actual phone numbers.
Phone numbers, which is,
if you're pre-registered to send outgoing text messages.
Okay. Well, I do it all the time from RingCentral, but I always typically have to add the phone number instead of the name.
You can't use the name or the extension because it doesn't exist. You can't text a non-textable device. So.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a little slow on the intake. I don't.
It's okay. We can follow up later if you have more questions.
That's okay. I'll just keep doing it with the phone number.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Louise?
Yes, I have inquired several times about getting a portable for the office here,
Mhm.
and I still don't have one. Is there a way to get one?
Kelly's going to be ordering those in the next couple days or so. We're going to be ordering a
Okay.
bunch of them to replace and upgrade and transition all those. So I'll make sure that you guys are on the list. But
Thank you.
Paul, that was my question too. I got that letter from Spectrum for the.
yeah, sorry about that, guys. We didn't know those letters were going out. Unfortunately, Spectrum decided to send a snail mail letter to every single office in the company. Even offices that don't have cordless phones still got the same letter for the same serial numbers in Michigan as they were in Florida. So we're bringing that up to our vendor and trying to figure out why they, out of all the documents, they decided to take that one. Let everyone know.
So you want us to throw this away?
Yes, please burn them, get rid of them. I don't care what you do with it. Use it as a doorstop, top of a table. I don't need that. Thank you, though.
Okay.
All right. Well, any more questions? We better. It's already 10 o'clock here. I'm going to get yelled at for taking up too much time. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining BlueSync, and then we'll get this recording up there shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.